New Brawler Gene coming out tomorrow, so let's speculate on how good he's really going to be and talk about everything we already know about the new Brawler coming tomorrow. Alright, now as soon as Gene comes out, I will of course have a box opening video for you all, unlocking Gene and probably maxing him as well, and then showing some gameplay so you guys can see what he's like. Another thing to know, if you're wondering if there's going to be a Gene offer, like an offer to buy Genes, just one Gene actually, for gems in the shop, my guess is an offer for Gene will appear the day after he comes out. I think they typically don't do it the day a new Brawler comes out. They don't give an offer. But I think when Leon came out, they gave an offer for Leon the day after he came out. So I'm assuming they'll probably do the same thing for Gene, which means you'll probably be able to buy him for, actually, I don't know how much a Mythic Brawler costs. If you guys know how much a Mythic Brawler costs gem-wise, put it down below in the comments. But you could also get an offer for Gene plus power points. That's an offer that showed up for Leon, so that might show up as well. Oh, and if you're wondering how many boxes it's going to take you to unlock Gene, I think it'll probably be somewhere between 300 to 600 boxes, really depending on how lucky you are and your drop rate. And of course, if you have other stuff to unlock, it could take even longer than that. As far as maxing him, I think that takes about like 100 to 200, a little bit more boxes to max Gene after you unlock. But all right, let's talk about everything we know about Gene and where we think Gene is going to be really good. But first off, before that, look at this other new Brawler that we saw. His name is Coach Cory. Look at this. I got Brawl starred. It looks pretty sweet. Does look really like me, kind of, although it looks kind of dopey. It looks a little out of it, but what kind of attack do you think it would be? What kind of Brawler would this guy be? I look like a all-star like track athlete, so I guess I'm gonna be, maybe I got a fast move speed. I'm running pretty fast. I don't know what my attack would be. I feel like I gotta have some sort of gun. Maybe I'm like a mini gun, or I'm gonna have a really fast move speed. I got like a submachine gun and I'm just chipping at people. Don't do a ton of damage, but it's hard to hit me. I can get a lot of hits on someone. I got like medium damage and like medium range. And then let's say, what would my super be? Let's say, oh, it's like a ray gun. That would be cool. All right, so it's a submachine gun and it fires like a huge blast in a line and it shocks someone for a second. I don't know where I'm going with this. And then my star power, I always wanted a Brawler that increases the damage of others, but actually here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna increase my own damage. Once I get below 30% health, my damage doubles. What about that? I don't know. It sounds like a sweet Brawler. Let me know what you think I should be, though. As much as I want that to be the Brawler that's coming tomorrow, it's not. Of course, it's going to be Gene. Now, Gene, the stuff we know about Gene, he's got a really high amount of health at max level. It's 5,040. That could have actually changed from the speculation video, the gameplay that they did leak. Now, guys, unfortunately, I can't give you a real sneak peek of the gameplay for Gene. They were unable to get us dev build access for Gene, so all we have is the gameplay from that one official sneak peek like a couple weeks ago as far as gameplay. So I'm going to be showing Tara gameplay because I think Tara is, of course, pretty similar super wise and just like damage wise as well. A lot of similarities between Tara and Gene as far as we know so far. Health wise, Gene has a really high amount of health. Damage wise, there's 1400 per shot. We don't know if there's any other effects or anything like that. The range of his super seems really long, which is really interesting for a super that pulls someone in, super that you would think would be really good at getting kills. It's interesting for that to have such a long range. So I'm guessing that Gene doesn't have a fast reload speed because he's gonna be so strong at getting kills. You don't want to give him too strong of a reload speed on top of that. He also actually though doesn't do a ton of damage. 1400. I mean, he's not gonna be able to kill any tanks. He's not gonna be able to kill any Brawlers that have a similar health level as him, at least within 3 shots. So that's a big deal as far as what Brawlers he's gonna target. He's honestly feels like maybe you're gonna play him like the old Daryl before he got his buff. There would be certain Brawlers that Daryl would just target and he could, you know, take down those Brawlers really well. I'm guessing Gene is going to be like that too, but it's also going to depend on how hard it is to charge his super up. If it takes a long time to charge a super, he might not be that strong. But if he can charge a super pretty easily and then use his super to chain other supers, my guess is he's going to be really strong. But of course, he's not going to be able to target every Brawler. He's not going to be able to target Nita's, Shelly's, any sort of tank. Pam, Bo, not gonna be able to target any Brawlers like that. Maybe not even be able to target like Jesse's with a super. If a Jesse has a turret, can plop down that turret. And unless there's some special effect with Gene, it's gonna be hard for Gene to get that kill, anything like that. And let me know below how good you think Gene is really gonna be. Now, we don't know his star power or anything like that. We don't know his reload speed. We don't know his like attack delay, anything. Well, I guess we can determine his attack delay, but I don't want to do it by the point, whatever. I think Gene is going to be such an interesting character because where is he really going to be best? I think Showdown, he could be really good in Showdown because he's got a really high amount of health that can allow him to survive, and he's got a super that's really threatening if he has a super, so people aren't going to want to engage in him because then they could die really easily. Especially if he has any sort of, like, if he has good power-ups, he can probably take on almost anyone. That's when he can take on the tanks with really strong power-ups, and then he's a threat to everyone. Unless his super is really slow to charge, I think he's going to be good in Showdown. I don't think he's going to be that good in Heist because I think he's going to have a slow reload, and unless his star power is like a big damage boost, I don't think he's going to be a really good Heist Brawler. He's just not going to be someone who's going to get a lot of damage on the safe. He can't attack over walls. I don't think he's going to have the utility to be good in Heist. I think he's going to be good in Brawl Ball because he's a good individual killer, and a lot of good individual killers are good in Brawl Ball, like Leon, like Tara. Nita's really strong there as well. So I think he's going to be good in Brawl Ball, and I think he's got a long enough range as well. It can be really threatening, and he's got enough health too that maybe he can push forward and get a goal. Now we don't know. It doesn't seem like he has any wall break abilities, which is good in Brawl Ball. So maybe he won't be really strong in Brawl Ball, but I definitely think he'll be good there. Another area would be Gem Grab. But what sort of role is Gene going to have in Gem Grab? Is he going to be a gem carrier because he has a really high amount of health? 5,000 health is really good, and he looks like he has a long range as well, so that's another good thing for a gem carrier. But you don't really want a gem carrier to be engaging in close range fights, which is what's going to happen with his super. But on top of that, his super has a really long range, so maybe he can get away with it. But at the same time, it's kind of risky to have your gem carrier engaging in these super risky things where he's pulling an enemy point blank right next to him. If he ever pulls someone and it doesn't go well, there goes all your gems, so that's going to be really risky. Is he going to be a support character then? But maybe he doesn't have enough damage as a support character. I do think he'll probably end up being a support character instead of a gem carrier if he plays in Gem Grab, but I'm not convinced if he's going to be a really good support character. Like, are you really going to play him over the spikes, over the almost said ricochets, but he's Rico, over brawlers like that? Meh, we'll have to see. It'll probably depend on what his star power is, definitely, as far as what sort of role he has and how good he is. Bounty, I think you could play him in Bounty. It's definitely going to depend on how long his attack range is. It looks like it's going to be pretty decent attack range though, and how hard it is for him to charge a super, but he's got enough health. I think you're going to play him in a Bounty, and I think he's going to be pretty good in Bounty as well. I don't think he's going to be good in Boss Fight or Robo Rumble, just because his damage is way too low, and really the most important thing in those modes for a lot of it is how good your damage is. And he just doesn't have it. So I think, but big game, I actually think he could be really good in big game, because I think he could be really good at killing bosses. If he can pull the boss closer to the spawn and closer to him and all his teammates, that just like is such a strong ability to eliminate that boss quicker, because a lot of bosses have really good movement speed, really good escapability, and just survivability. And at least two of like Jesse and Nita, you can pull them away from their bear or pull them away from their turret, make it easier to engage in them. That's going to be a really good ability for taking out the boss. As far as being good, I guess it's still called the boss, as the big brawler. As far as being the big brawler, I'm not quite sure if he's going to be that good. His damage isn't that great, and he only targets one brawl at a time, so he's probably not going to be the best big boss, big brawler, but he will be good at facing them, I would think. Now, it would be kind of like Supercell to release a brawler that's super strong right away and then maybe nerf him later on. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It hasn't happened with every game with every new character release, but with a lot of games, it's more likely to happen than not, is what I would say. I mean, of course, Leon is a good example for Brawl Stars, but that's not true for every brawler that's been released in Brawl Stars. They haven't all been really strong right away. Leon is, of course, just the one that was post-global, essentially the most one that everyone's familiar with. Is that going to happen with Gene? I think it's more likely to happen than not. I don't think he's going to be overpowered, is my guess, but I haven't played him, so I'm not really sure. I do think he's going to be good, though. How good? We'll have to see. I do think he's going to be a top 10 brawler at the least, is my guess, so I would definitely want to unlock him right away as soon as possible. Is the star power going to be important? We don't know that at all, so free to play, is he going to be good or not? And we're going to have to wait and find out on that one. As far as event modifiers, one thing that would be really fun with Gene is using that super in Angry Robo. You have an angry robot chasing you, and you use that super, pull someone in, and you make the robot target that person instead of you. That would be really sweet, I think, with Gene. Probably a good strategy too. and he's got a high amount of health. I also think Gene would be really good in energy drink because he has high amount of health, so he can be really aggressive, but he also has the range, which those are honestly the two best things in energy drink for once you have the energy drink. If you have the range and the high amount of health to be aggressive, you can get a ton of kills, because it doesn't matter if he does much damage, because once he has the energy drink, he's going to do more than he needs to do. As far as other game modes or event modifiers, Healing Mushroom, probably gonna be good. I feel like high health stuff, it tends to be pretty good at Healing Mushroom because you can just, of course, utilize that healing even better than by surviving and taking more hits, potentially. Probably pretty good there, but his damage isn't very good, so maybe he won't be because a lot of people can probably out-heal all the damage that he does. So he'll survive, but he won't get many kills there, I guess? Meh, who knows. Meteors, he'll probably be fine. Honestly, Meteors doesn't change the game that much. Life Leech, he'll probably be... Oh wait, Life Leech is in the game, that's right. Let me know if you guys think I should do a giveaway to help you get Gene or not down below. If enough people want me to, I don't mind doing one to help you guys get him. Make sure to let me know how good you think Gene is gonna be down below. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.